Kevin Charleston here today from Specialty Risk Insurance in Carthage, Missouri, to talk about your LRP midweek update, to talk about some of the things going on in the market out there today. Probably, you know, our month winner, our out month winner that we picked this week is November. 255 on your 550 pound steers. That's a pretty good market. We haven't seen that in a while. You know, that's on a 550 pound steer at 255. That's $1,404 in value on a steer. Just think if we had any little thing go wrong in this market and we went back to $1.80, that's $990 value. The difference in the two. $990 in value from $1,404. You know, that's for $39. That $400 difference plus dollar difference in that value of that calf is huge. That's the difference that's hard to make up in 2 or 3 turns of calves over a couple years if you're raising those calves. Now, the great thing though is if this thing runs off and you lost your $39, it doesn't have to run off at $5 or $6 a hundred, and you made it all back up your downside to this thing, and you made it back up on your calf. So you get the full win of the calf, and if you lose, just look at the opportunity on the downside to $300 or $400 to the positive in your pocket. Now, what's our best month that we're seeing out there on these 750 pound steers?
We're going to stay in November on those 750 pound steers in November at 232. That's costing $49 a head. We haven't seen that in a long time. Like Kevin said, November's just out. It's all of our future outstanding, but November's just on the top this week.
We're going to come back here in just a minute and talk about the heat stress endorsement that we have available with our regular livestock coverage on our feedlots and grow yard for an opportunity. It's kind of the first in the U.S. we believe to have this option to put a heat stress endorsement on. We'll be back with you in just a second on that. We're here today to talk about an option for coverage for heat. This is only available for a grow yard and or a feed yard. This was the first time we've ever offered it. I believe it's the first time in the U.S. it's ever been offered. It has to be bought with your standard blizzard insurance and or wind, lightning, hail, fire coverage for your traditional cattle coverage, and then we can put this endorsement on the other side of that insurance policy to step in there and pick up when we get to that heat index level where those cattle no longer can be sustained at that temperature with either a humidity, or a raised humidity and a raised temperature where they combine. We have a chart that we will put out right behind this conversation where you can look at that chart and see where it fits. The cattle are covered for death for 48 hours. Once that triggered event, we get into that temperature range, and those cattle are covered over 1,000 pounds and not been vaccinated within 48 hours to raise their internal temperature. Typically, cattle of that size shouldn't be getting vaccinated too much anyway. We've never had this opportunity before, but last year after the occurrence in southwest Kansas, whenever the heat came into play, it gave us a opportunity to kind of go back and start looking at the heat and the timelines. And it looked to me like from 5 to 8 years, you can have a heat event typically in the feeding cattle industry. And it's about the same when the overall picture looked at from a snow blizzard type event to trigger some coverage to protect him. Those bad losses are more than what you would typically sustain on a regular day. You know, this does have a 100 head deductible, which might seem a little bit strong, but I had to get the insurance company to work with me to find common ground for the first couple of years to write this policy. Not very expensive a policy, but you know, it's kind of on an individual basis. We'll have to look at your feed yard and run it through a little bit of underwriting. It's a great opportunity, and they're covered for 40 hours once that's triggered. I think we talked about it just now. We have $1 million per occurrence on this with a $2 million aggregate on there. So if you used up $1 million in one occurrence over your 100 head, you still have another $1 million left to go if it happened again 5 days later in that policy period. Give us a call here at Specialty Risk at 417-359-5470, or go to specialtyrisk.ag for your daily LRP updates. Most of your DTN data, typically on the daily newswire, will be available there under specialtyrisk.ag. Thank you for your time.